I promise that I make more than just ArieForce One videos, but I gotta give the people what they want. What's up guys, Dr. Coaster here and welcome back to another video on the channel. I'm super excited about this video because today we'll be ranking the elements of ArieForce One according to you. Before we chili dip our way into this rankings video, if you haven't already, then be sure to drop the video a like as it helps me fight the YouTube algorithm. While you're at it, subscribe to the channel as well for more roller coaster and theme park content just like this. While we still haven't received an opening date for ArieForce One quite yet, it's widely accepted that funspot Atlanta and RMC are going to meet their targeted opening of this upcoming summer. This ride is packed with tons of insane elements, and there's been a lot of hype surrounding which ones people think will perform the best. So that brings us to the purpose of today's video. With some help from my subscribers, we've got a solid list of ArieForce One's elements ranked from least to most anticipated. After the ride has been open for a few months, we're going to revisit this topic and see how the two lists compare to each other, once more people have ridden it. Until that day comes though, let's take a look at what people are thinking currently. And I'm not gonna lie, these rankings surprised me a little bit. So let's get into this. In total, we ended up ranking the top 5 of the ride's major elements with a few honorable mentions. So up first with the first honorable mention is... oh, wait. What?
A few moments later.
Well, I guess that means there's no reason to rank them. Thank you all for watching. That was every element on ArieForce One ranked according to you. More seriously though, it's clear that there doesn't appear to be a weak spot on ArieForce One, and that's what made this poll so much fun. The other honorable mention I received was the double up and big drop combo that will take place around the middle of ArieForce One's layout. I personally feel that the big drop off of the double up and heading into the barrel roll is the sleeper moment on the ride. The ejector airtime should be ridiculous. Now let's get into the list to see where your favorite element ranked. Coming in at number 5 is the first drop. The beginning of the ride is certainly wasting no time, absolutely yanking you into this world-class, exhilarating layout. The lift hill is going to stand 154 feet tall, and the first drop will be 146 feet down at a near vertical angle of descent of 83 degrees. I've said previously that the one and only thing that I would change about ArieForce One is making it a tad taller, but seeing this element in person really makes you appreciate how awesome this is going to be. RMC just finished installing this element and the bottom out into the Raven Truss dive this week, and seeing that trek finally added to the white supports is just incredible. It's hard to top a first drop on an RMC hybrid, and ArieForce One's will be no different. Number 4. The barrel roll. This is probably the most surprising result on the list for me, as I was expecting it to rank at least second, if not first on the list. This was actually being outpolled with the first drop for a little bit, before pulling ahead into the 4th spot. This element is going to give you some excellent whip as it flies over the arcade and into the second turnaround on the ride. Along with the whip, expect this barrel roll to provide some excellent thrills and intensity coming out of the double up and big drop. Going through the barrel roll, you should get some great hang time following that air time that you would have just completed. RMC just started construction on this element within the past couple of weeks, and it's going to be super exciting to see it go vertical in the very near future. With so many great elements coming to this ride, maybe this ranking isn't as surprising as I previously thought, but it wasn't able to crack the top 3. Number 3, the ZeroG Stall. Edging out the barrel roll for a spot in the top 3 is the ZeroG Stall, which will be the longest ZeroG Stall in North America. This is sure to provide some excellent hang time while traveling parallel to the adjacent highway, making for a fun and unique interaction. Together with the lift hill and first drop, this will be the first thing guests see upon arriving at the park, making for one heck of a first impression. The ZeroG Stall will also be a part of one of, if not the strongest sequence on the ride, leaving the Raven Truss dive and then flying into the Outer Banked Airtime Hill. In fact, this might actually be one of the strongest trios on any coaster, let alone this one specifically. RMC recently installed the supports for the stall when they topped off the ride, and they are currently working towards having that track in place very soon. Even though it's a record breaker, 2 other elements were able to top it on this list. Number 2, the Outer Banked Airtime Hill. If there's an element that has been the most hyped up by enthusiasts on this list, it's probably this one, regardless of its ranking. I wasn't necessarily surprised to see it at number 2 on this list, but I wasn't expecting to be beaten this convincingly. I'd suspect that many of those voting for this element have likely ridden either Steel Vengeance and or Iron Gwazi as well, and are fully expecting it to outperform every other element on the ride. The outer banked Airtime Hill should provide some incredible sideways airtime to the right before pulling you down and to the left, all the way down to ground level. There aren't many of these outer bank type hills out there, but they are certainly becoming more popular on the new coaster editions in the last few years, and for good reason. You're going to have a hard time finding a more unique moment of airtime than the ones that these hills provide. While we're on the topic of unique elements, number 1, the Raven Truss Dive. This received a whopping 41% of the votes, nearly doubling that of the outer banked Airtime Hill, firmly grasping the number 1 spot on this list. The Raven Truss Dive will be the first of its kind, borrowing the same dive from a typical dive loop, but adding in its own spice at the beginning with an outer bank pop of airtime. I guess I was under the impression that this might seem like a gimmicky element to a lot of people, but now that I think about it, it's kind of like an outer banked Airtime Hill and a dive loop had a child, and this was the result. The snap out of the outward pop and then being pulled back towards the ground is going to be breathtaking, and I cannot wait to experience it for myself. Regardless of how surprised I was at the results, I can totally understand why so many people are looking forward to the Raven Truss Dive. Thank you all for watching. That was every element on ArieForce One ranked according to you. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to drop it a like, and give yourself a pat on the back. You can subscribe to the channel as well for more roller coaster and theme park content just like this. And most importantly, weekly ArieForce One construction updates. If you want even more content, then you can follow me over on Instagram as well, where you can find me at Dr_Coaster. This video would not have been possible without you, nor reaching 500 subscribers here on the channel, and for that I am extremely grateful. This now allows me to access the YouTube community page, so we can make more videos like this one. Before you go, also be sure to let me know in the comments what element you're most excited for, or if I left it out altogether in this video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.